Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode. I am so excited to introduce my guest today, Andrew Miller with Miller Marketing Group. And it's so funny, like how things just happen, right? Like I heard this buzzword around the community, Andrew Miller, Miller Marketing. Have you been? Have you been to one of his events? And I'm like, no, I haven't, but I keep hearing people talking about his events. And it's like a little buzz in the air. Well, finally, I was able to get to one of his events, and now I see what all the buzz is about. They are amazing, and they're like top notch. Everybody there is just good people and there to like really network with each other. So it's just really fun, like to be in that environment, and you leave in this like excited, like oh my gosh, so many possibilities way. And so, what kind of marketing does he do? He does marketing for personal injury. So attorneys, doctors, so providers, anybody in the personal industry. It's kind of like a weird tongue twister there. And then also, he is in real estate. There's a lot to Andrew Miller, Mr. Miller. Hi, everyone. I am Arielle the Connector, and I have experienced firsthand how networking with the right people can transform your business. So I'm here to pay it forward, and my network is your network. Each week, I am bringing you along for fun conversations with community-minded business leaders. Join me to learn from their stories, soak up their wisdom, and leave inspired to take bold, beautiful action. You are not alone on this journey, so let's get you connected. It's so funny when everybody kept saying his name, I thought he was much older than he really is.
Oh man,
And yeah, anyways, let me bring you on, Andrew. Okay.
how y'all doing? Let me
So yeah, so some fun things is like I want to talk about this because like everybody was like Mr. Miller and like I'm like who is Mr. Miller? Like I need to know what's going
Mhm.
on. And then I meet you and you're a young business professional, but not just young, you're very successful and you figured out the combinations to business and you figured out the whole like entrepreneurship journey, which I'm not saying that you've have it figured out where like okay, great, you're done. No, you're just kind of almost even getting started and you're like now we're
Mhm.
really revving up. And
Yes.
you have other businesses that you are now bringing into this, which is Better Wellness and PT Now, Wilton Mariners. And you're expanding into other areas, which is what entrepreneurship is about.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is like starting at one thing and ending someplace you probably never even thought you were going to end.
Mhm.
So, and it's not even ending, just the journey on the journey. So, Andrew, I want to speak a little bit about like when you first got into this field, you said you were a PT aide, which like can you just share a little bit about that?
So I started off with action physical therapy and Florida Orthocare as a PTA aide. Pretty much, shadowing the PT and the PTA, make sure I can, help treat the patients when they come in for chiropractor, physical therapy, or they just come in to do, exercise to help their body recover. So, that's where I started and everything changed once the PIP law changed. Pretty much, you know, got stopped working for that company and started on my own and, it's been a success since.
Most people would go from an aide to a physical therapist assistant or to a physical therapist and like kind of move up in that area. But you decided from a physical therapist, physical therapy aide to business. Like you're like, no, we're gonna beeline to the other way. Like we're gonna go, yeah. So you realize like you wanted to get into business, or what was your um avenue of that? Like what?
I'm, I mean, working for Action Physical, I pretty much learned the business because I did front desk for 6 months. I market 6 locations. I manage 6 locations. So I basically got the understanding of how this really works and, made some strong connections with attorneys, that's younger because that's my target. I target young attorneys, young doctors, where, we can have an organic conversation because of the age group and, they be able to listen to me. I can help them with their cases. And, that's pretty much how I started.
It's interesting as you say that because you're young and you're even younger when you were doing this, and you had to get like these attorneys or older business professionals, doctors and everything to trust you, right?
Yes.
So what is something you did to gain their trust? Because I'm sorry, I know I asked you a question and then I'm just like
No, no,
gonna
no.
like
You good. Go ahead.
railroad
Go
you off the
ahead.
tracks
Go
really
ahead. Go
quick.
ahead.
No, but I started this business also at 22,
Mhm.
and it was freaking hard, like, to get through the door to the older professionals where I had those, like they had these, like, boys clubs or girls clubs or whatever, the clubs,
Mhm.
and to break into that was a really hard thing as a new provider, and I don't know if it was my age being so young or if it was just because I was a new provider in the area, a new business owner to break into that. So how did you break into that?
I mean, I broke into it from I was with Action. So when I was with Action, I used to go out and target attorneys, target primary cares, target urgent cares, locations that I can be able to provide for these attorneys so they can send us back business. So by me doing that, I built a lot of strong relationship with a couple urgent cares and primary cares, make some solid introductions for these attorneys. And, from I did that, they just became closer because they realized I'm doing this the right way. I'm not trying to do it where I'm buying or selling. I'm just trying to make real connection with the providers that need attorneys and then the attorneys that need a chiro, ortho, PT. It depends on what the injury is. So I just try to connect people with the right people that you can actually call them and they'll pick up. And, basically you get the who's in charge. You're not talking to someone that you have to go through this person or that person. I try to connect my providers with who makes decision so they don't waste time.
I mean, when we met, I have to say, like, we sat down and pretty quickly it came out, you're like, I'm a God-fearing man.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's a really good, like, for me, I was like, oh, whoa, okay, yeah. Like, I know you're not gonna like screw me over because you're gonna have to answer that to that guy
Yeah. I
upstairs,
mean,
that big guy or a big, big boss. So yeah, so I want to touch on that a little bit.
yeah, I mean, I'm a very strong believer in the Messiah that, we're here for a purpose and we're here for a reason. We're not here just to exist. We're actually here to serve him and help people. I'm very big on that. I'm very, 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 very big on patient care. That's why when I was with Action Physical, the owner, John Papa, gave me an opportunity because he realized that I really care for the patient. I really want the patient to recover. Because if I take care of, say her family, I mean, I get her whole family. And that's how I look at it. Because from a toddler to a grown adult, we all need a chiro because based on our livelihood, working out, sitting at the desk, it's a real necessity to life once you get to a point where you need it. Some people don't need it because they don't do anything, right? So they just sit down, they don't really go out, they're not active, so they don't really understand what it is. But for me, it's like I try to push it on people because especially athlete, because I'm an athlete myself. So, once I tore my Achilles, that's when I learned how important a chiropractor and a physical therapy is. So I try to educate people on that so they can even come in just for a checkup. Just they can meet Dr. Craig James, which he's the owner for Better Wellness Clinic. So,
Yeah, I love that you guys teamed up.
hmm
You found each other, and so business partners, I wanna talk about this because also, like, my dad had a ex-business partner that was just not great. So from my point of view, and I've touched on this a couple times in the podcast just because, like, this is something that hits home with me. Like, some people have, like, parents of divorce. I thank God have, like, very good, loving parents. I just have a parent of a bad business separation. So I am traumatized with business partners
right.
and from watching what he happened to him. So, like, can we like, trust is a huge thing in a business relationship.
Oh, that's big for me. Super big. For Dr. Craig, from the first day I met him, I felt he was genuine. He's from North Carolina. He's not from here. He doesn't know many people. His parents, he just have his parents in North Carolina. So once I realized what type of person he is, and he also is a God-fearing man, he's also awoke, to the society that we live in. So am I. So we connect more on a realistic level, and then we connected through a spiritual level. Cause, he wanna know, you know, his purpose. And I was able to help him, read a couple books, listen to a couple videos, read a couple Bible verses so he can understand his purpose. And then since that, 4 years now, we're still connected. So the business is one thing, but we communicate like brothers, where I never feel like he's gonna try to go, you know, over me for anything, and I'll never go over him. I'll never disrespect him character because he never gave me a reason to. I never, ever, ever in 4 years had to question his character. So with that type of, idea of him, I can trust him and I respect him. So, we're just gonna grow. And for the next 10 years, I don't know where we'll be, but we're gonna be far.
Yeah, all you have in life is your integrity, right? Like that's it. That's all we come into this world with nothing, right? And we leave this world with nothing, but
Nothing.
yeah. But we have that integrity, and that is just what's so important to be remembered by, right? Like,
Hmm.
and so it's a beautiful thing what you said there about like staying, you connected through religion.
Correct.
And that is so important on like in connection. As human beings, I talk about connection all the time. Like energy doesn't lie. You
It
can
don't. I'm very big on energy. Energy is a thing for me. Like, if the energy is good, I got you. If the energy is not, you know, what I wanted to be, sometimes it has nothing to do with me. It's that individual having a rough day. And, I figure out what's going on. I'd be like, how's your morning? And then from there, the conversation starts. And there's sometimes some people just need a hug because we all got trauma we're dealing with. We all got demons we fight every morning we wake up. So some people just want somebody to listen. And once you give them that opportunity to listen and give them a hug, a lot of people feel better. That's just what works for me.
I think what you just said there nails like the whole thing is like people just want to be heard.
That's it.
And in relationships, in business relationships, in life, people just want to be heard.
Correct.
It doesn't mean that what they're saying is right or whatever. They just need to vent. I am listening to this amazing doctor right now. There's a Harvard study that was done about communication and people, and like this is the longest Harvard study done um, about like community and connection.
Hmm.
And he said stress and the biggest factor is like um, that in our lives or whatever. I'm butchering what he said, and I'm going to remember this doctor's name in a minute. But but what he said is what you're I want to touch on with what you're saying is being heard. And he says like you can get really revved up with talking about with somebody, or you can completely come down and be calm. Your emotions can vary based on conversations you
Correct.
have, and that is such an amazing thing as humans, as that we can do this, right? Like, do animals really have this, right? They're not having conversations and getting revved up. No, this more energy, like, hey, you're gonna steal my food or you're gonna like attack my cub, right?
Hmm.
So we have to get like anger and flight or fight. But
Survival mode.
yeah, but humans, we have these connections and these conversations, and it's we can, as we're vibing, like things can go one way or it can go another way. And it's amazing how like we just want to be heard,
That's
which
it.
will really calm us down with anything, right? Like we're having a bad day,
Hmm. And
you
that,
just want to vent sometimes.
yeah, that comes from, like, for example, relationships. It's the same thing as what you said earlier. Relationships, some people just want to be heard. And it's all about the approach, right? Sometimes I have to realize that people are not going to think like me or communicate the way I do. But if I approach a situation how I want to be approached, it might change the whole narrative of what some people might look at me and hear me say they have an idea, okay, this guy is really trying to help me. He's really trying to, be there for me. And that's one thing we deal with in this industry. A lot of people are afraid to open up because they've been screwed over so many times. So when a person like me come in and I'm saying something and they actually see me do it, it gives them peace and it gives me peace. So, okay, this person trusts me. We can relax now. And that's what I'm trying to do, being going on year 3 in this industry is just trying to be what a lot of people are not. And that's honest, straightforward. And if you can help, you can. If you can't, give me some time. Let me get more vetted in certain areas. I can help everyone.
Yeah. But let's
So,
talk about different areas. It's a good segue.
hmm,
Real estate,
okay.
because that is another huge part of your life.
Hmm.
Um, you're not just in the medical field, you also have your real estate license.
No, so I'm a real estate investor.
I just made up stories,
No, investor.
you
I work
guys.
closely with a brokerage, so I just invest with that brokerage.
Okay, okay. We talked about real estate last time we were together, and I was like, there was just so much. Honestly, our conversation that we had last time was like my mind was spinning from it because there was so many like fun conversations of where we went
Mhm.
that like, okay, so as a real estate investor, how did you even get involved investing and how did you know it was a good investment, right? And there's so many questions I want to ask. Okay, let's start with that one first.
All right. So 2016, I went to get my real estate license at Gold Coast,
Oh
and
yeah.
I failed. I failed the first round. I'm like, man, this is kind of tough,
Mhm.
because around that time I wasn't mentally there yet. I was 26 years old, so I was still young, still trying to figure out, how I can make certain ends meet, and I failed. So I met a couple group of people that's in real estate, and they showed me how I can invest into foreclosure properties through the bank by paying cash, because the bank really want you to take that property off of them whichever way. So I said, okay, so how does that work? So basically what they did, they took me to a couple other states. I seen how cheap it is tax wise, insurance wise, to buy properties in different states. For example, like Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, those areas, it's easy to live there because it's not that expensive. So those are the areas that I invested in that, I started like say 2019 and now it's 2025. So it's been good. It's been a success. I want to, keep doing that every year, take out the equity out of every property every year and invest into another one until I have enough to take care of my whole family for the next 10 years. So that's the main reason why I do so many different things, is because I want to be there. I want to be the first entrepreneur of my family and the first real business owner of the family to take care of the rest of the family for the next couple generations. So that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, I love that you're doing this for a bigger purpose than yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that's really like what drives you
Mhm.
is yeah, you want to
I want to be the first guy in the Miller family to help everyone.
yeah.
So that's my plan.
It's a huge like amazing plan and it's awesome. It's so funny that you talk about real estate like that you failed the test. Okay, I did too. It's freaking hard. It is
It was.
hard.
It was. And I wasn't focused. I had so much stuff going on. So
Well, it doesn't even matter. I think okay, I'm a terrible test taker. I'm gonna just like admit that. I'm not a good school person, but I'm a good entrepreneur.
yeah.
And same thing about you,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know how you did in school. I don't know, but I'm just
School was good for me.
okay.
I'm not the best test taker like you, because in the moment I'm there, I just get nervous. Even if I know the answer, I'm second guessing
Well, they
myself,
trick you and they do this whole thing, and it's
you
like, no,
know?
I don't need to know. I don't know. No, come on.
So I just trying to find other loopholes I can use to get into business instead of being licensed.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Exactly. And it's like it's cool that you like figured this out with like because there's a lot of other people out there that are not good test takers or like they want to get their real estate license or they want to be in real estate
Hmm.
but don't do well on the test or can't sit through classes or all the other things. And so this is cool to like know of another way
Oh yeah.
that they can invest or they can do other things to get themselves through, into real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's like always like the fixer uppers, the flippers.
Yeah. But if you want, just find a brokerage that, they're very, like, they have different locations throughout the US where you can, connect with them and see if, they have properties you can invest in. The best properties to invest in is like duplexes, um, townhomes. Those are where, you can rent out each room, make more money that way. So if for duplexes, for example, it's a 2-1. So each section you rent out for what you wanted to rent it out for, you can walk away with $10,000 a month. It all depends on you and how the location. I'm gonna give you guys another.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, give him another, but I'm gonna say like that sounds like really like, oh my gosh, everybody should be doing this.
It should fix your credit. Start a LLC, work your business for a year, go to your bank, and they can give you a nice loan as long as they see the income coming in. You go out of state. Right now, we're looking at Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Stop it.
Oh yeah,
No, I have friends that literally like
yeah.
it's a very small
It's
people
small, but it's
do not
very livable for people. So if you in that
so
area,
random. I've spent a lot of time in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
it's cheap to live there. Bethlehem. very,
Yeah.
very cheap. So that's the area I'm looking at now to take out the equity of what I have and invest over there into a building so I can have at least 8 floors of apartments.
Okay, so years ago, like before COVID, BC, right? Like I thought of like investing. Oh, thank you. I thought of investing. We were trying to do a flip property in Allentown, like Bethlehem, that area,
Hmm.
because I have friends that live there, and we had like I looked at property, I did the whole thing. We were like all ready to go, but we just all chickened out a little bit because it's a nervous thing. It's scary. I was going to go with
It's
my brother and
scary.
a couple friends. We are all going to do the whole like investment. Um, but it's a beautiful area.
It
Oh my
is. It
gosh.
is. And it's very quiet. I like quiet. I like peace. That's why I go to the beach so much. I love peace.
So the
Because
water is your rejuvenation
the
place?
water, you just sit down, you just meditate in a lot of different ways. Trust me.
Yeah, let's talk about these ways that you meditate. Let's go into this.
uh, I just
So water. Okay, wait. I asked you a question. I just cut you off again. Go.
no,
Yeah.
like meditation for me is like, when you have a tough week, you have a tough day, you just take that time and just relax and turn your phone off and just clear your mind and just relax for a couple minutes. You
Okay,
know,
that's easier said than done.
it is, but there's other ways you can do it too. I won't speak on that, but there's a lot of other ways you can meditate. You can ease the brain in a lot of ways, like a glass of wine,
Uh-huh.
like that.
Okay. Little beer or something.
Something different, just to help you relax.
Uh-huh. That's good.
Like a little edible.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's
wrong with
legal.
that.
It's all
A
legal.
little edible, relax the brain.
Yeah. No,
You
it's
know,
it's important to like really take that time and just decompress.
you have to, because this is very overwhelming, especially being consistent for 3 years straight with
Uh,
events.
Yes, and I want to touch on that for a second. With doing these events where you get like 300 people coming to your events. I mean, I'm saying 300, there could be more, at least the ones that I've gone to. I mean, there you get a good size. But when it's like 300, it's a very manageable, easy 300. It's like
Hmm.
150 to 300. I don't know. That's what it
150,
feels like.
150.
Okay, it feels like 300 to me because it just feels like so much excitement. You can
So
feel
many.
like the energy is
Hmm.
insane in that room, right? It's electrifying. And everybody was like, was it, I'm talking so fast, you guys. I'm like on 1.5. Okay. So, but like, when you go to events and sometimes it's like 30 people, but it feels like 60 people because of the high energy in that room.
Hmm.
That's how it feels like at your events, but in a great, great way.
Yeah.
And, but when you do those events, I've done some big events myself, and like afterwards, I need some time to recover. Oh my gosh, it took me like a month to recover after my event, which you do events every month. So
Hmm.
like
Yeah, my events is set up where after every event, like I literally, okay, so this is what I do
tell
for,
me your secret.
I have my events planned out already till next January.
Mhm.
So it's easier for me to maneuver because I already planned everything ahead of time. So what we in now? April?
Mhm.
Pretty much I'm done for this year for setting up events. Now I'm focusing on January. So that's how I move. I'm very organized of making sure that, because I do most of the stuff by myself. I have a team with me, but I do most of the footwork, most of the meetings. As what you said about the energy of the event. The energy in the event runs through me. Pretty much, I invite people that give me good energy, that get good business. Some do, some don't. But I try my best to bring in a lot of decision makers, where it's easier for if I have a marketer or if I have someone like you that have a location,
Mhm.
you have your own company, I can connect you directly with one of my attorneys because you make the decision. So that's what I push for my event is to get young doctors and lawyers that they want help, and I bring them in a room with a couple attorneys that can help them, couple doctors that can help them that been in the game for a while. So that's why my events are so unique and I have a lot of new faces because I target the kids that when they just graduate. So they can come in and get mentored by other attorneys and doctors and send business and build a strong relationship,
Yeah,
you know.
so important because I did not have that when I first started in this industry, and I wish I did because latched onto the people that did see me and like wanted to help me. I was like, oh my gosh, I just like grabbed them like a little sponge. I don't know if that's an expression, but grab them like leached onto them, latched onto them.
Mhm.
And, I was like, yeah, like I want to learn, I want to know, and I want to grow and be successful. So like, what can you teach me? If I had like a group that I could go to as a young entrepreneur, it would have been very, very helpful.
Yeah. And it was that. No, these attorneys, they really educated me on, especially Mario Lopez. Shout out Mario Lopez. That's my guy. He definitely educated me on a lot that I need to know to be safe, work the right way. And also Nadia, she educated me a lot too. Like she's been a big help. I know she was on the podcast a couple
She
weeks
was,
ago.
yeah.
So I want to shout out to Nadia too. She definitely helped me out a lot. So, I appreciate the people that was there for me from the jump and they're still here now. You know, you got my back, I got your back. And that's how I work.
Yeah. And this is so important about business and community. I want to throw a fun question out there because we're going to just change this up for a second.
Okay.
But I love to ask this question, and it's, what are you snobby about?
Snobby?
Yeah. And don't hold back, just let us know. It's okay. We all have our things. We're human, right? We're
All
all
right.
snobby about something. So what are you snobby
Give me
about?
an example. What do you mean?
Okay, well, a couple things. Um, I'm snobby about my drinks. I like to have good beverages, like no real sodas. Like I like my Olipop. I like my beverages, but I need like good coffee also. I'm snobby. Like I want high quality drinks and I need and also water. Like I'm really snobby about my water. I will not, I won't, but I am particular about like restaurant water. I used to drink tap water and then I got more educated on it. And I'm like, I drink Kangen water now, right? Like
Mm.
I have become snobby about my water. But there's a lot of things that people are snobby about.
For me, I don't really have much. You
Oh,
know,
come on.
I, I really don't. Like, let me think. Let me
Like
think.
it's a nice thing that you like to just enjoy. I mean, I have some people that are snobby about even like their yoga pants, right?
For me,
They
the gym.
Okay.
The gym is one.
Like you're snobby about like what type of gym you go to, which gym you go to, like
Like when I go to the gym and it's like
it's not a nice gym.
it's too crowded. That's one thing that kind of irritate me a little bit because I
Yeah.
like to get in and get out.
Yeah.
I train by myself, so
You're focused.
I'm focused. So that's one thing that kind of triggers me a little bit. Um,
Yeah, I know it.
people, dishonest.
Oh, see now we're
People, dishonesty. Users, people that survive through people instead of trying to figure out their own purpose. Um,
It's fun to think about, right? Because snobby is like, it can be negative, but it's really just a preference. Like,
yeah,
what do you prefer, right? It's a different way of putting it.
right.
And so it's interesting you say people, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I would say you are in a good way, but you are
Hmm.
very snobby about who you work with, what you do,
Oh yeah,
and you vet. And if you don't meet up to that, like you're out.
yeah. I ask a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and I have a discernment eye. So that's one thing about me why I know I'm gonna get far in this industry is because I see people for their patterns, not what they say. Because if you pay attention to their patterns, you can read who they are instead of because people know how to talk well. We in an industry where we're dealing with lawyers and doctors that know what to say and when to say it.
Mhm.
But when you pay attention to people patterns, that show who they are. You know?
So another thing I want to just ask you, and this is I think fun as like a younger entrepreneur, but also like it would be fun to like look back at. And I'm gonna say at age 22, because you probably were just graduating college and you were at a certain stage of life. What was the most important thing to you at that time?
At 22,
Yeah. Yeah.
22.
Yeah, think back at it.
I'm gonna be honest. At 22, I was trying to get my residency for the US
Okay.
because that's when I got my residency for this country. So I was very focused on that so I can be able to work. So that was my focus from 18 to 22 is to get my residency so I can be able to help myself.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And now And so now looking back, like, because it's a couple years later,
I'm 36
just a
now.
few.
I'm 36
Yeah.
now.
So now at this age, what is most important to you now?
Family and God. That's it.
Isn't it amazing how, like, at these ages, at different ages in your life, it change excuse me, it changes so much, right? Like, that was so important to you at that time, which is doesn't make it worse, bad, good, or whatever. It's just as we go through life, um, it change what is important to us changes. But family and God would probably always be there for
Yeah,
you
that's my key.
and has always been there.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's two really grounding things. And I love that you've said a lot of the times on this podcast is purpose. And purpose is the opposite of purpose is depression.
Correct.
And you keep saying you help people find their purpose. You talk to people. Purpose is like even with Dr. Craig, who you were talking about purpose in that conversation with him. And when you both do things for a purpose, the result is so much bigger than what we can even imagine.
Correct.
And it's amazing that that's how you live your life. It's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
It really is beautiful.
Some people don't know their purpose. No, they just existing from their childhood. They following the trend that their family did instead of trying to figure out their own. For example, when I lost my job from Action Physical, the first thing my parents said to me, go work at the airport. Go do something where you don't have to worry. And I'm like, no. I'm at the age now. I'm 32. Let me figure something out. Because I don't like working for people. I never like working for people. I always see myself as, being my own boss, so I can be able to help people the right way, not use people or take advantage of people. That's why I'll give you another example. PT now, Wilton Manners. My biggest thing for PT now is patient care. A lot of people know PT now. They know, they have their name out there, but I'm basically coming in to show people that, we can really do good patient care. And that's why I invite a lot of my attorneys to come to the location to see it so they can come and they can feel comfortable to send their patient there so we can give them the best care so everyone can benefit. So I wanted to put that out there that, we're going to do the best we can to take care of your grandma or your baby brother or sister. Trust me.
Yeah. So beautiful. Um, oh my gosh, I've just loved having this conversation with you. And thank you so much for being here and
Definitely.
sharing with me and sharing with
Definitely.
us. Like, not just I feel like it's me. I'm like, oh guys.
Mhm.
No, with everybody. Like what you do, who you are, and being open about it. And you are such a resource for people in the healthcare community, but also in the real estate community. So if you have questions, I know you're very approachable and people can reach out to
Oh,
you
yeah.
and, and chit chat with you further about things. So thank you so much for being on here. But before we go, where can everybody find you?
You can find me you can check out my website. You can see all my events that I've done, all my partners, um, all the small business and real estate companies that I've helped. You can go on www.millersmarketinggroup.com. Um,
And you're active on Instagram.
and my Instagram is Millers underscore marketing underscore 34.
Yeah, perfect.
So you can check me out. And if you ever want to come to a personal injury mixer, you're welcome to come. Just look for the tall 6'3" black guy. I'll connect you with some people.
I know you probably get it all the time. You should be a basketball player.
Yeah, I was. But these knees, they done gave out on me. They
That's
gave
how
out
you
on me.
changed your trajectory.
Hmm.
And yeah, God had a bigger purpose for you.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you guys for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you all next week for a whole new episode.
Thank you.